Roll up to the night, side by side. Big buggies, rock crawlers, feeling alive. Loose rocks ahead, toughest ride. Engines roaring, let's take that dive. Jeeps high, headlights cut through the dark. Metal monsters leaving their mark. Gravel flying, dirt in the air. Feel the challenge if you dare. Let's get crawling, let's get rolling. Engines revving, spirits soaring. Night riding, tough and wild. Feel the thrill like a rock child. Tires grip the rugged road. Pushing hard, don't go slow. Dust clouds rising, sky so clear. Heartbeats pounding, fire near. Steel beats under the moon's watch. Rough terrain, no time to botch. Headlamps shining, keep us on track. Through the toughest, can't turn back. Let's get crawling, let's get rolling. Engines revving, spirits soaring. Night riding, tough and wild. Feel the thrill like a rock child. Jeeps high, headlights cut through the dark. Metal monsters leaving their mark. Gravel flying, dirt in the air. Feel the challenge if you dare. You dare. Let's get crawling, let's get rolling. Engines revving, spirits soaring. Night riding, tough and wild. Feel the thrill like a rock child. Tires grip the rugged road. Pushing hard, don't go slow. Dust clouds rising, sky so clear. Heartbeats pounding, like a rock child. Tires grip the rugged road. Pushing hard, don't go slow. Dust clouds rising, sky so clear. Heartbeats pounding like a rock child. Tires grip the rugged road. Pushing hard, don't go slow. Dust clouds rising, sky so clear. Heartbeats pounding, fire near. Tires grip the rugged road. Pushing hard, don't go slow. Dust clouds rising, sky so clear. Heartbeats pounding, fire near. Tires grip the rugged road. Pushing hard, don't go slow. Dust clouds rising, sky so clear. Heartbeats pounding, fire near. Tires grip the rugged road. Pushing hard, don't go slow. Dust clouds rising, sky so clear. Heartbeats pounding, fire near.
Minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. Minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another great episode of the Let's Get Crawling podcast. Welcome back, Michael. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
Dude, I'm getting excited. I say it every time we do this podcast, but I'm getting excited. We're only like 16 days out now. 16 days till the event.
Hard to believe.
Hard to believe. But I tell you what, guys, we are super happy. We've got this big event that we are planning at Hidden Falls. Excuse me for stuttering a little bit. I'm still trying to wake up from the weekend. We had one heck of a weekend out there at the Mud for Cure event at River Run. Had a great time. Threw some buggies in the mud and broke a couple things and, did our thing. But, all week long we talked about this event. We talked about how we need to do certain things to close up a few items on the on the agenda to get done. So that way we can prepare for all of our fans and all the people that want to see a great event. And I think we've got a lot of work done and still have a lot of work to do. So
Those are a couple things that we just got thinking about that we never put a whole lot to before, but I think we're straightened out.
sure. So y'all tuning in tonight. I just want to let you know. Feel free to ask questions. This is your time to do it. Throw a comment in there. Even if you don't catch us on the actual live feed that we're filming right now, we'll always get the comments or questions afterwards. So we will always get back to you and answer those questions for you. Um, and also, you can shoot us an email at the info at letsgetcrawling.org. And you can also send us a Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger on our channels as well. So make sure you find us and subscribe to those and follow us along and look for all the updates because as we close down to the last few days of the event, we'll be posting more and more and more. We're working really hard to get all the videos uploaded and edited. It's a lot of time, a lot of man hours to get all that stuff done, and I am super exhausted of trying to get everything ready for it. But I think we're gonna put on a good show, and hopefully everybody will enjoy their time. So, I you got to talk to some food vendors over the weekend, and
We did.
tell me a little bit about how that conversation went. Conversations, let's just say.
So they're a bit of a drive from where we are, but those couple that were really excited that were all right. Let's try to get this thing scheduled. So we got 3, possibly 4 more food trucks coming. We're just waiting for them to get hold of us. Obviously, they're getting reset from their weekend. So hopefully we'll hear from them in a day or two and we can get them locked in on a schedule. So we got a couple more food options for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. So, and don't worry, this is not like a last minute plan or anything. We've been trying to get more and more vendors and food trucks out there just to add to the excitement and have more variety of choices for everybody. So, if you know anybody that wants to come out there last minute and set up their stuff, make sure you hit us drop us a note, get with us, and we will definitely hook you up. So. Um, We got Wesley on here. He asked, was out at Hidden Falls last weekend and saw the new sign. They look great, but do you know if they're going to be putting trail ratings on them? As far as I know right now, they are not putting trail ratings on it. Doesn't mean that will change later on down the road. But I definitely will suggest it to the trail management and see what they say. But if you ever want to find the trail ratings, you can always download the app before you go out there, which is the Avenza app. Works really good. I mean, Michael says he doesn't work for him, but it works good for me. And they have the trail ratings also. And don't forget, you can always go to the front office or the general store out there, and they'll have the map as well with all the
The
trails.
hard copy map.
Yep, and also give you a heads up on that as well. We've talked with Onyx several times. I've talked with the staff out there at Hidden Falls a few times about trying to get the maps updated on Onyx to the best they can. We're actually talking about maybe even just wiping what's on there because there's some trails that are marked incorrectly or whatever. Getting that remapped and getting that out there. So Wesley, we'll do our best to push that up to the management at Hidden Falls and see what they suggest. But that's actually a pretty good suggestion. I think.
Absolutely.
So. As far as the event goes, the booking out there is getting pretty booked. The last time I saw, I don't think any RV spots are left. I know
There-
Area A had one left, and I think that got taken.
Area A got taken up, but there are still some no hookups.
Yeah, so the primitive camping or the what do they call it, glamping, as you call it, are still plenty of spots out there. I know I think Zips is booked up. They might have a cabin or two, bunkhouses or two, still available. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't check today.
I was
But I
trying
know-
to do that right before we went live.
So maybe he can check while we're doing this and see what he's got. They still have 10 spots. Of course, primitive camping out there is available. So let's talk about as we approach the event, what to expect, why you should come, and what you should see and be able to do out there. So first of all, why you should come is it's the first time event being hosted again out there for years. That has been since Four Wheel Parts used to host big events out there. We're not trying to fill their shoes, but we definitely want to kind of follow along and kind of put on the same show that they used to do, and be able to offer activities for people of all kinds, whether you're a beginner, two-wheel drive, never been off-road kind of situation, and want to just be able to put your dirt or your tires on the dirt and go down some trails and have a fun time with your friends and family and meet other great wheelers that are out there. Also, we want to kind of give it a little bit more of an excitement, maybe a little bit of a challenge for the people that have been doing it for a while, and do the trail ride challenges. We got what we have: Midnight Run,
Midnight Run, Bronco Buster.
Bronco Buster, and then we also have the Beginner's Trail for the Park Road Trail. So what that really consists of is we give you a map, we show you where you need to go at, and you will have a marker at the beginning of the trail that you'll take a photo with on your phone, and those markers will add up towards through the end of the trail. So if you miss a marker in the middle of the trail, that means you either went a bypass or didn't do the trail all the way. So um, once you get all your photos on your phone, which is no app required, no software, anything like that, you need to have just your camera on your smartphone, and then show the registration booth that you've completed and you got all the photos from that trail, like Midnight Run and Bronco Buster. And once you show them, then you'll get a participation award. So definitely the Midnight Run and the Bronco Buster are level 3 and 4 type trails. I definitely require 4-wheel drive. I wouldn't require anything more than 4-wheel drive. I mean, quite honestly, most of the trail you could probably do in 2-wheel drive. There might be a couple little tricky spots you might have to use a 4-wheel drive, especially depending on your tires and your size of your vehicle. But I've seen stock vehicles go down these with no lift kits, 33s or 32-inch tires, with very limited abilities, and they still accomplish those 2 trails. So I think it's very possible. And as far as if you don't want to take the challenge and get in those tight crannies and what you got a little bit of off camera going on in there.
Couple off cambers, couple tight turns.
Yeah, for sure. Then you can do the park road, which is like the beginner level of the time challenge. So which means all 2-wheel drive, no 4-wheel drive required. But it's a overall trail. And so if you stay tuned later here in a podcast after we cover some more details, I'm actually going to bring up Google Earth and show the park on the screen here, and I'm going to show you the trails that we actually have laid out for y'all. So make sure you stay tuned towards the end of the podcast. I'm going to bring that up for you, but we do have some important admin things we want to go ahead and cover after I get these details out of the way. So, other than that, you're going to expect we're going to have a treasure hunt out there for you. We're going to have some boxes of some sort and have stuff in them that you need to go find. We'll have a map, like a treasure map per se, hence the treasure hunt thing. And it'll take you out in the park. Nothing crazy. We're not going to put them like on top of a mountain or anything like that, but we're going to put them in certain areas that are going to be moderately easy to get to. And then you collect all the items and come back to the registration booth to collect your final prize for completing the treasure hunt and get a treasure, right?
Absolutely.
So with that said, we also have the guided trail rides, which means you bring your vehicle to the park and drive along, follow with us in a group, or we depending on the amount of people that show up, we'll have several groups divided in within I think we said max 15 people per group, and we'll take them out on the trails, do a little exploring, just on some easy stuff, maybe some moderate stuff. And then we'll be doing the night rides Friday night and Saturday night, right?
Correct.
So Friday night and Saturday night we do our guided trail night rides, which just means that there's a leader, there's a trail leader, and then there's a tail gunner, and pretty much just making sure the group doesn't split off and get lost or anything like that. We'll take a nice stroll through the park, and you'll end up on top of Wildcat Mountain, where you can show off all your fancy lights if you have any. Take 10-15 minute chill break up there, enjoy the view because it is an amazing view up there on top of the mountain. Get some photos. I mean, it's hard to take photos at nighttime, but you can still get some good photos with
absolutely
smartphones these days. And then we'll meet. We'll work our way back down to base camp down in general area. So, with that said, we did have the tug of war on there. If you have registered for the tug of war, that event has been, or that activity has been canceled for this event. We are going to try and push it again for the next year's upcoming events, but due for reasons outside of our control, we are not doing the tug of war anymore. So I'm sorry if that caused any heartbreak or anything like that. I really wanted to see it done, but that's okay. We'll plan for next year, right?
That's right.
Um, so with that said, we have Friday night and Saturday night. We have live entertainment. We have two bands coming from out of town to go up there and play music for us at the pavilion. Friday night we have a little band. It's a newer band called Little Ruckus coming up there to play some music for us. And then Friday or Saturday night we have a band called Envy of Them All out of Bastrop, Texas. So we're excited to have them come aboard and play some music for us. I'm excited about getting to hear some music out there. We never get to hear any live music out there, so
Yeah,
that'd
that's
be
normally
cool.
just everyone's stereos running around. I'm ready to just sit down and watch a live band.
Absolutely, especially after long days of activities and trail rides and everything else going on. So, and then right after the live band, they shut down at 9 o'clock, which is just in time for what?
Night
The
rides.
night rides. That's right. That's where when the night ride starts. So everybody will gather up right there at the pavilion, right where the music was playing at. So you don't really have to go far, and we'll gather up and hopefully be on the trails no later than 9:15, 9:20, and then go for an hour or so ride or a couple hour ride, depending on how people are doing. And it's no really set time limit on that. So we'll see how things go. Other than that, what else do we have for them? What about
Oh, what
Sunday?
are we?
What do they expect on Sunday?
Oh, we got the best built buggy competition. Show up for registrations at 10 and we'll get them judged. See who's got the coolest built rigs out there in a couple different classes. We got our 101 class that day.
Yeah, so the one-on-one class, we've done quite a few of those out there already, and those are for the. I mean, anywhere from the very beginners, the novice, to the advanced. Doesn't matter who you are, is classified. Now, what we will do, we'll take it more into a. I'm going to take it more into a educational type one-on-one class, more or less than just going out and hitting the trails. We'll start off by showing your basic functions on your four-wheel drive vehicle, whether you have a Jeep, Bronco, side by side. It doesn't matter. We're not biased on what type of vehicle it is. We're pretty good overall experienced off-roaders in all those vehicle types. We'll show you how to disconnect your sway bars, how what your proper air deflation rate should be at, and we'll show you your basic controls on your sway bar disconnects, your front and rear lockers, your turn assist if you have a Bronco or something like that, and a lot of other features that your vehicle that has that or may not have that you never even knew that you may have. So we're going to go through all that for you, give a demonstration on how that stuff works. So that way, when you go out on the trails next time by yourself or with a smaller group, you'll know what to do. So, or just maybe just a refresher for some people that's been a while since they've been on the trails and they just can't remember exactly, step by step. So.
A lot of our 101 classes have been that way. It's people that, I was wheeling, but it's been a couple years.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. So, we're super excited about the one-on-one class. I think we're at 13. The last time I looked for the one-on-one class pre-registered, I expect a lot more the weekend of, especially with all the people out there. Speaking of which, I mean the people that I've heard. I mean we have 67 people registered right now on our website pre-registered, which sounds like a low number. I'm actually pretty happy with those numbers because getting the pre-registration is a lot harder than actually getting registrations on site. Once we get out there, set up tents, set up the registration booth, I think those numbers are going to drastically change for the better. So, definitely looking for that. So, a little bit about the two competitions we have out there: the toughest crawl competition and the King of Wildcat Mountain Challenge. Now, guys, this is where it's at. Okay, this is the big challenge. This is the show, right? So, we expect you or your buddies or your friends or whoever you know that likes to full send it. This is your opportunity to come full send it on our trails because the toughest crawl competition is, I think we mapped it out today, just like about was it just under a quarter mile,
Just
right?
under a
Just under a
quarter.
quarter mile up the side of a mountain. Um, and it is every bit of that loose rock talk that everybody talks about. It's just limestone that just like in Caliche that breaks off and kicks off around and all that good stuff. So just it's going to be an exciting show to see the bouncers come out or the Jeep crawlers come out, side by sides come out. It is designed for everybody, and we've proven that a stock side by side, me, can make it up the mountain with a little bit of assistance. So we can definitely be excited to see some stock vehicles try to make it up the hills too. And the King of Wildcat Mountain Challenge, it is a group of obstacle, or I should say, a group of trails that are put together for the full size and the buggy class. It'll start off at Damn It Derek, cut over to Penthouse, and then run over the top of the mountain over down to the Wildcat Stairway. And then you'll come once you come up to the top of the stairway, make it back up onto the plateau of the Wildcat Mountain. That's when your time ends. And the side by side class will start off over at the actually bottom of Penthouse, which Penthouse and Damn It Derek start at the exact same spot. So the starting point's the same for both classes, except you'll be going two different directions. So the Penthouse has actually started to become pretty challenging. It's washed out quite a bit. The last few times we've been out there, it's getting more and more difficult to make it up there. But again, I mean, they're still making it up there side by side. Those two seaters that came out there were pretty much stock. I mean, there was remember those two Razor seaters,
Yep.
Razors that came out there, and they made it up pretty easily. So, with that said, the you will be awarded per time finish. Now, this is not like a go as fast as you possibly can to make it to the top. We do want you to make it to the top as quick as you can, but we also it's a technical type of challenge too. So there's a lot of technicality. It's not just a straight line beeline shot. The course will actually be roped off for specific lines. You'll have on the toughest crawl, you'll have a option A and option B, I guess you could say, right? So option A will be your easiest line to take. I mean, it's not saying it's still an easy trail to take, but it'll be your easiest line to take compared to option B. And option B will be the toughest crawl. I mean, the toughest trail, the toughest line to take, and that will actually award you more points. So, or I say more points, more. It actually deduct time from your total time for the finish of the competition. Excuse me. Same thing. So you'll have we'll actually go up. I guess this will be a good time to go ahead and bring. We'll bring up the rule book. Well, we're not finished with the rule book. This is the undrafted version of the rule book right now. Or this is the drafted version of the book right now. We're not 100% done. We're still working on getting the final details on there. But we'll come down here, and this will be available on our website here fairly soon. And we'll have copies for y'all out there at the park as well. There'll be some definitions in here for people what this book applies to. But we're going to come down here real quick to Scorn. Row. Oh, there it is. Okay. I thought I lost it for a second. All right. So every class will be scored to the same way. All scoring is timed and penalty based. Time will be deducted for awarding those that take the harder challenge lines. And time will be added for penalties listed below, which are the barriers. So the barriers are actually the roped off course part of the challenges. So if you go past the barrier, you'll be penalized for 3 seconds for every time you go over the barrier or hit the barrier. And so you can, if you hit it multiple times all the way up, then you're going to be penalized multiple times. And this is just to maintain the competition fairness across the board. So anybody can go across the board and take an easy line, or maybe they take an easy route compared to everybody else, and that's kind of the point. But we kind of want everybody to go up the same, almost the same line as everybody else. That way, kind of keeps it fair across the board, right? Backing up, as far as backing up and resetting may be required on these courses at some time. So 1 second will be added to your total time for every time you stop, back up, and go forward again. So every time you reset, you'll be penalized 1 second. Um, I have seen this course done in a one-shot beeline, so it can be done. Winching. So even though you are allowed to winch, winches will add 10-second penalty to your finish time. So with that said, drivers are not allowed to get out and of the vehicle to winch themselves. So then you have riggers, which can be your co-drivers or your spotter or a designated winch rigger on site. So these people can ride with you through the vehicle, and once you get to a point you need to rig out, they can hop out, grab the winch line, tie it to the anchor point, which we'll have designated out there, and get you the rest of the way up, and then hop back in and finish out the race. Of course, if you don't finish the race, mentioning you means you didn't finish cross the finish line, you'll be considered a DNF, and you will not be given a time. And then we're gonna have time limits on the course, and this is actually where we're in the middle of deliberation, I guess you could say, on what those time limits are going to be. We're still trying to figure that out. We'll get that out to y'all as soon as we possibly can. Um, and there'll be some safety information here. Nothing too crazy. A lot of the safety information that we have in here, like you have to have a seat belt. If you're in a fully enclosed vehicle, at least a lap shoulder belt has to be required. If you're in an open cabin like that, a minimum of 4-point harness needs to be used. We recommend a 5-point or higher. Of course, if you're in a open cab of any kind, you need to have some type of rollover protection, like a roll cage or um, factory ropes position, rollover protection systems in place. If you're in a fully enclosed, the vehicle is, considered safe enough for you to be inside there, but the vehicle has to be totally enclosed. We recommend that you carry a fire extinguisher because if it does catch on fire at some point, I've caught on fire on loose rock before because of a battery shortage. So if you don't want your rig to burn down and don't want to start a wildfire in the middle of the park, I would highly recommend bring fire protection. We will have fire extinguishers on site, so we can help out as well as much as we can. Um, as far as fuel systems, nobody's allowed to carry any spare fuel with them in the side of the car, like fuel cans or anything like that. If you have an aftermarket fuel cell per se in your vehicle, it needs to be bolted down. It can't move. You can't just take like a boat fuel tank and throw it in the back there and expect it to be good. We don't need fuel spilling everywhere, and we need to be safe in case you do roll over. We do recommend to have like an emergency fuel shutoff valve if you have a fuel cell on it. That way, if it does roll over something like that, we can shut it off without creating more hazards. Winter nuts are not required, but definitely highly recommended just because of the potential of the high rollovers. Limbs like to come out of vehicles when you start rolling, and they snap when a vehicle lands on them. So if you have a window net, great, use them. If you don't, they're pretty cheap on Amazon to actually throw on there. You can get pretty easy and pretty cheap snap-on window nets. As far as footwear or personal protective equipment, we would like for you to at least wear jeans and non-melting type of material. A fire suit is, of course, it's recommended, but it's not required. If you wear shorts and t-shirt and something happens, you're going to get hurt. Let's just put it that way. I mean, God forbid anything bad happens out there, but if you're out anything that is out of the recommended type underneath any of the PPE requirements, you're solely responsible for any injuries due to not wearing the recommended clothing type, and applies to everything else listed in the section of the PPE requirements. So just be aware of that. Uh, every single one of these are available to y'all shortly. If you want an email copy sent to you directly, just send us a link or an email requesting it, and we'll get it to you as quick as we possibly can. Now, as far as the next thing we need to hit on our list is actually I'm going to hit what Bobby Shaver said. So Bobby's I met him a while back. He's a great guy. He's one of the rangers out there in the park. Hi, Bobby. Thanks for watching. I will go ahead and show this on here. Bobby said, "Hey guys, please remind everybody park road speed limit is 15 miles an hour. This is strictly enforced, guys. This means anywhere on the park roads that are listed as park roads in the park, no more than 15 miles an hour. Now, there's a couple reasons why. First of all, it's a dust bowl out there. I mean, it's a rock crawling park. So if you go on faster than 15, it's going to create one heck of a dust cloud, and it's going to limit people oncoming or pulling out of other trails and stuff like that. And last thing we need is somebody to hit somebody else because of that. Not only that, because of how fast they're going, a student won't be able to stop. If you stop on anything more than 15 miles an hour on a park road, you slide a little bit. So
A lot of blind corners,
A lot
couple
of
of
them, yeah.
spots that the trails or the park roads get a little narrower. So if you're coming around a corner with speed, you're going to slide right across into somebody.
Yes, for sure. So I'm sorry, I clicked on the wrong freaking thing here for a second. I don't know what happened here. There it goes. My bad. So anyways, yeah, please keep in mind park road speed is 15 miles an hour. The slower you go, it helps keep the dust down. So take your time, get there safe, and respect that park's wishes on the speed limit. I appreciate it. As far as the next thing that's important to talk about is the schedule. The schedule has changed ever so slightly. Excuse me. And let me get it up onto the screen real quick. Just give me 1 second while I switch over. But Tim out there at the park asked me to change a couple of the times just for the simple fact of um, the park opening times and the park closing times, and also we had to edit where the live music was and stuff like that. So what we got going on here? Wait for it to show up. There we go. All right, so what we got going on here? We did change the time. On Thursday and Friday, the park opens at 9 a.m. It used to be 8 a.m., so just want to make sure everybody knows that. Show at the park at 9 a.m., not 8 a.m. On Friday night, we added the live music starting at 6 p.m. And then at the pavilion up there by the general store and Area B. And then on Saturday night, or Saturday and Sunday, the park opens at 8 a.m. I'm pretty sure those times haven't changed, but the park closing time on Sunday, we had it at 6 p.m. It has been changed to 5 p.m. So we want to make sure y'all know that they would like everybody out of the park at 5 p.m. unless you are a Hidden Falls member. If you're a Hidden Falls member and you hold a membership card that's an active membership, you're not limited to that time frame. So be aware of that. And of course, we added the live music for Saturday night, also starting at 6 p.m., which will run to 9 p.m. as well. And we took off the tug of war for that day as well. So go to our website, letsquitcrawling.org. Go to the upper right-hand section. You can see the changes in the event schedule or the flyer section. If you go to the schedule, it brings it up to our schedule and bring it up. There it is. And you can see that those changes made in here. Okay. All right. Going back to some of the other items we want to cover, let's talk about the trails themselves real quick. So we talked a minute ago about where the trails are and how they're going to run. So I'm going to bring up Google Earth on the screen real quick. We're going to make some maps to help the understanding and where you need to go, report to, and where the trail are, how they're going to run. This is a highway where you're in the park. What you can hear on the screen, you're going to come into the park and go down a little road. You're going to come to the main building here. We will meet staff after you get parked and stage at the registration office and get you signed up.
I was going to say, yeah.
I did. Sorry, my bad. I'm it up already. My bad. I'm more over. Apologize. Give me a second. What did I do? Sorry, guys. Just a second. I apologize. It moved on me. All right, my bad. All right, here we go. Turn the other way. All right, so here's the my bad. Apologies. All right, so here's the gate you come in at This is the something is. Some of you are familiar with that's where the rental company would be at. This is actually be staging that and being produced. So make sure you stay here, you guys get your oversight, and then going down to A or B or wherever your camp set up, and can meet over at area B where so it's hard for me to control. All right, here we go. But it a lot on me. It's very difficult for me to for this. So here. Real quick. Let's see here. We're going to do that, and that should bring it up on the screen. So what I've done. All right, let's bring it up. As well as I would. I just do this later for y'all. Here we go. There we go. Sorry, that, guys. All right. So it's probably all right. So actually, let's see if we can get spun. There we go. All right. So is we're counting this. Okay. Come out like take their photos at it nighttime. Hangs out. Pretty cool view. You can pretty much see the entire park from this. But you'll come from area B to this area. Recent Falls area camp. It's straight of that's where the toughest crawl actually begins. This line you see here, the line you can say where it's at. So the beginning of the toughest crawl actually on Rocky. What is it called? Rocky?
Yeah, it's Rocky.
So for this this event will actually be down over here at the bottom of Derek. And then you'll work your way on the loose road. It'll be the easy path that I mentioned earlier. It'll be the path you can take, and then work your way up. So this will really be the finish line up here at the top, loose rock, and that's what you try. It doesn't get the greatest graphic detail on Google Maps, just for trying to the graphic processing is on this, but gives you an idea on how. If you've been out to the park before, you're very familiar with it. It's a well-known trail that a lot of people love that have the big builder vehicles and go there and off-road on all the time. But it's more of a go zigzag over, go back up, go zigzag over the other way, so on and so forth, all the way up to the top. Doesn't represent very well, but gives you an idea of the representation of it. Real quick, we'll go over to the King of Wildcat Challenge. Let's see if I can get this. And we'll go ahead and bring up both lines because there is a line for the full-size vehicles, and there's a line for the because bear with me, like 3 seconds to reset. Yeah, there we go. All right. So from the park road, which is triangulated area right here, is where the bottom part, the bottom of research, where this blue line and green line is where Pithow and Damn It Derek start at. So the blue line that you see here is the side-by-side version, or the think we also talked about the stock or low modified vehicle. So the low modified or stock in the side by side, we will be taking the blue line with all else. We'll go over there in a second and show you what's on the other side. For the full build buggies, the balancers and stuff like that, the green line will be your line. This is damn it, that starts at the bottom, works your way over to penthouse, and just the other classes do. And you'll cross over top of Wildcat Mountain. We're right here, and it comes down. Every steep incline comes over and Wildcat Stairway, which is this whole trail here on the right hand side. Works its way up, all the way up, back side, or I guess you could say the north side of Wildcat Stairway. And at the very end of this way, which I can't really have a good view of it. So, the very of the end of the line right here, there's a clutch that kind of gets in the way, kind of hop up, and then make it to the top of it. So that would be the end of the King of Wildcat Mountain. And that one's a challenging one, but definitely doable. What's your thoughts on it?
I have. I've run that one.
So anyway, I wanted to show you kind of jumpy just because of all the video process. So I will make a video demonstrating this thing just went over to get a better understanding on how those trails are going to be ran and how those trails are going to work. So that way y'all can understand. Bobby also wanted me to point out to y'all that A to B access. So area A is the very first camping area you come to in the park. You'll pass the Copperhead Shooting Club on the right hand side, and you'll see the camping on the right hand side as well as you make the sharp left hand turn. There's restrooms on the left hand side. So if you're camping at area A, that's where you're going to be at. There's cabins back there as well. If you're not camping at area B or you're not camping at all and you want to make your way over to the event, continue on down the park road or the main road all the way down to area B or day use and get set up there. Once you're in your side-by-side or ATV or dirt bike per se, area A to area B is off limits to those type of vehicles. So they need to take the actual trail ride vehicles that are between area A and area B that are on the backside. And we're excited too, Bobby, for sure. So I really appreciate it. I want to bore y'all with a whole bunch of information. I wanted to make sure that the schedule, y'all knew about the updated schedule. I wanted to make sure that y'all understood on how the event is actually going to be ran and how it's going to go. At any time during the stay at the event, you'll have questions. You're just not sure what's going on. Come see one of the staff members over at the registration booth in area B, which is by the general store. We'll have a big poster or a banner up there that says register here. That's also the information booth where you can come get information for the event itself or about any of the activities that are going on out there. And we'll have some information about the park too if you have questions. We're all pretty familiar with the park, so feel free to come by, visit with one of us, meet our crew, meet the guys. Michael, what else? You got anything else we need to talk about tonight that's important for our viewers?
I think that just about sums it up.
I think so too. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. If you know somebody that's going to this event and they want more information, please share this video with them. Again, if you have any questions or comments at any point between now and the event time, feel free to drop us a comment or an email or even call us. All the contact information is on our website at letsgetcrawling.org. as well as on our Facebook and our Instagram at Let's Get Crawling. So,
Oh, I lied.
oh, what do you have?
I still need some volunteers to help me out with our safety team.
Yes, we do. That is a big one. Volunteers are needed. We have some incentives for the volunteers. For those that do come out and help us, we still need we need safety crew members to help us keep an eye on the challenges that we have or the competitions we have for lookouts and everything else. And we also need administrative
Yep.
help too. Oh, we need trail guides as well.
Trail guides.
So, worst comes to worst, if we don't get any more than what we already have, we will make do and make it happen. So, tell your friends, anybody that's not doing anything that wants something to do, we definitely have something for you to do. We'll make it happen. We'll take good care of you too for helping us out. So, any last minute things you need to think
Nope,
about?
that was definitely it.
All right. Well, guys, again, thank y'all so much for following along and keeping up to date with us. And we can't wait to see y'all out there at the park. And until then, Let's Get Crawling 2024 is on the road.
Up to the night, side by side, big buggies, rock crawlers, feeling alive. Loose rocks ahead, toughest ride, engines roaring, let's take that dive. Jeeps high, headlights cut through the dark, metal monsters leaving their mark. Gravel flying, dirt in the air, feel the challenge if you dare. Let's get crawling, let's get rolling, engines revving, spirits soaring. Night riding, tough and wild, feel the thrill like a rock child. Tires grip the rugged road, pushing hard, don't go slow. Dust clouds rising, sky so clear, heartbeats pounding, fire near. Steel beats under the moon's watch, rough terrain, no time to botch. Headlamps shining, keep us on track, through the toughest, can't turn back. Let's get crawling, let's get rolling, engines revving, spirits soaring. Night riding, tough and wild, feel the thrill like a rock child. Jeeps high, headlights cut through the dark, metal monsters leaving their mark. Gravel flying, dirt in the air, feel the challenge if you dare. You dare. Let's get crawling, let's get rolling, engines revving, spirits soaring. Night riding, tough and wild, feel the thrill like a rock child. Tires grip the rugged road, pushing hard, don't go slow. Dust clouds rise, the sky so clear, heartbeats pounding like a rock child. Tires grip the rugged road, pushing hard, don't go slow. Dust clouds rise, the sky so clear, heartbeats pounding like a rock child.